First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Ming, homage to Master Sakya Tsongkhung, homage to the 16 Dharma King Karmapa, and homage to Master Tupten Darje. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, the Vajradhara. Simu, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, temple directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet, and our participating VIPs today from Taiwan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Secretary General Daniel Liao's wife, Dharma Sister Judy, Accountant to the Two Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Teresa and her husband Larry, the Law Advisor to the Two Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Jennifer Zhou, CTI TV Taiwan producers for the Gini Diansang Shinton, Dharma Sister Rebecca Shiachi, Dr. Ryan Zhuang, and the wife of the former director of Overseas Credit Warranty Fund, Ms. Vivian Sith, from the Sunny Line Dance Group of Taiwan, Dharma Sister Lin Yixuan and Cai Mingyue, and Dr. Gao. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. How do you do? Next Sunday, November 3rd at 3 p.m., there would be the Golden Mother Homa fire offering ceremony. And Golden Mother is considered to be the only king of the sages unique to Buddha school, and also the most highly revered deity of Grandmaster. Golden Mother has truly great power and also has the supreme merits, and she could open the divine eye and could also guide the sentient beings to be reborn into the best pure lands. And through spiritual union with Golden Mother, that's why we have Two Buddha School today. We have Two Buddha School today because I had spiritual union with Golden Mother. That's why Two Buddha School is very special. So for the past 40 years, I highly revere Golden Mother. Next Sunday, whether you want to become the primary supplicant or not, it is up to you. Go ahead. We will not force you, but this deity has truly great power. In Taiwan, Ci Hui Tang, the Ci Hui Temple, in Taiwan, there are many of these temples in the Taiwan island from north to south. There were about thousands of them. And they have great divine power, and they know about a lot of things in heavens or under the heavens. The Buddhas are that way, Golden Mother is that way too. Golden Mother knows. So today we perform Homa of Vajradhara, and his body is blue. He's wearing a crown with celestial garment, with all kinds of ornaments and embellishments, and on the this lotus throne, and both hands are crossed in front of the chest, and the thumb and the index fingers forming a circle, and the other fingers are forming a fist like this, holding Vajrabell and Vajraceptor. This is his mudra. The mantra. That's the heart mantra. So with mudra, mantra, and his look, that is easy to visualize. So you can visualize, form the mudra, and recite the mantra, and that would comprise deity yoga. So Vajradhara, of course, is the greatest one. So in Vajrayana, who would be the greatest? That would be Vajradhara. And the first Vajra holder, and it's Dhatu means number one, or first and foremost. And he is a Buddha of the 16th ground. So that's the first and foremost, and that would be the Adharma or the Adi Buddha or Samantabhadra Tathagata, or also called Dorje Chang. He is the primordial Buddha and representing the ultimate and the original nature. So we had performed the Adi Buddha ceremony, so the same body with different names. So we've said this before. The chief Vajra holder, Vajradhara, and then below that there would be the 5 Dhyani Buddhas or the Vajra holders, and then the Dharma prince would be Vajrasattva, the first Vajra holder, and then 6 Vajra holder, 1 plus 5, and Vajrasattva is the 7th Vajra holder. And then all the lineage root gurus that propagate the Vajrayana, that would be called the 8th Vajra holders. And then the next generation would be the 9th Vajra holders. And the first would be Adi Buddha, and also called the Vajradhara. According to the division in the world, if using like in a country, so Vajradhara would be the president. And the vice president would be the vice Vajradhara. And the executive director, that would be the Vajra legislator, Vajra superior judge, Vajra so executive, legislative, and then jurisdiction. So that's this division. We can say it this way, if it is in a country. And into Buddha school, we can create so Vajra grandpa, Vajra grandma, Vajra father, Vajra mother, and then Vajra son, Vajra daughter. So we can always invent something. Those are just names. So Vajradhara is Adibuddha, also called Samantabhadra Tathagata, also called Dorje Chang. Why is he blue? Many people ask me, why is Vajradhara blue? Because nothing can symbolize him. So we can only use the sky to represent him. And the color of the sky is blue, so he is blue. That's how it is. That's what my guru told me before. Why we use blue to symbolize him? Because blue represents the whole sky. And he is the chief lineage guru of Vajrayana. So once you gain yogic response with Vajradhara, you're guaranteed to be reborn into the Pure Land, and you will definitely have attainments. So Vajradhara had transmitted Great Perfection Dharma and Mahamudra. These two Dharma were transmitted by Vajradhara in Tibetan Buddhism. In the heavenly realm, the Great Perfection Dharma, first is Samantabhadra Tathagata, the 5 Jnani Buddhas, Vajrasattva, Vajrapani, and Sengshin Tianzi, the noble heart, heavenly prince. And in the world, the lineage is Prahevajra, Manjushri Mitra, Mahavairukana, Padmasambhava, and the king Trisong Tejin. So that's the lineage of Great Perfection Dharma. He has the foremost Dharma power, and you can accomplish anything, whether it's worldly or enlightenment activities. So today, by receiving empowerment from Vajradhara, that would be the greatest empowerment in Vajrayana. No other empowerment is greater than this. Now let's continue on the Great Perfection Dharma. Guru Padmasambhava told me, Sakyamuni Buddhas gazing upon the star right before dawn and saw the Buddha nature and attained Buddhahood. People thought that the Buddha really stored a star in the east in the sky. If by gazing at the star right before dawn, one can gain enlightenment, all tantric practitioners can just gaze at this one star in the east at about 3/4 of the night and then attain Buddhahood. Is that so? I replied, of course not. Guru Padmasambhava instructed me as follows. The Great Perfection Dharma pointed out that the bright star in the east that Sakyamuni Buddha saw was actually the divine star of his own body. This divine star is light. Knowing that in true enlightenment, the wisdom emission of the enlightened being is like seeing a star. The star that Sakyamuni Buddha saw was actually a wisdom star inside his own body. Afraid that people would misunderstand this, he used a metaphor of the bright star in the east. So sometimes the vision of the bright star in the east, it's not of the bright star in the east, but actually is his own body, the light of his own wisdom. So in the attainment of the great perfection Dharma, this star is the one and true Dharma realm. It is bright even when it is unrevealed. When one sees this divine star, one will always be able to see it. After this divine star becomes illuminated, it will stay bright and luminous. It will not disappear all of a sudden. So once you see that, then you would be able to see that forever. So the same thing with enlightenment. It's not that you today you're enlightened and then tomorrow you're confused and deluded, and then the day after you're enlightened again, and then the day after you are confused again. No, that's not the case. Because the true enlightenment, once you're enlightened, you will always be enlightened. It's not that this year you're enlightened, and then next year you're not, and then the year after you are, and then afterward you're not enlightened. That's not the case. That's why it is called once enlightened, you're enlightened forever. And once you're enlightened, you view the world, you view sentient beings differently. You view sentient beings as sentient beings. It's impossible for them to gain enlightenment. So if they are not able to gain enlightenment, even if you bring them to Beijing or to Nanjing or to Tokyo, actually in Chinese it's like the northern capital, the southern capital, or the eastern capital. Doesn't matter where you bring them, they will not gain enlightenment. But once they gain enlightenment, they would comprehend, they would understand that whether it's the northern capital, southern capital, eastern capital, they are actually all one capital. They are all the same. The enlightened one, doesn't matter where he goes, he would still be enlightened, even when he becomes the president or when he is in prison, he's still enlightened. So that is quite clear, right? A guest asked the abbot, what is it that let you leave behind the mundane world and become a renunciate at the temple and cultivate spiritually? And the master replied, because of my cat, the cat in my house. What? That's kind of... And because when he was young, he lost his business and he became bankrupt, and he spoke to the cat. How should I continue to live? And the cat replied, meow, in Chinese meaning temple. So that's why he entered into a monastic life, because of the cat. So we know that seeing this eastern star at dawn, so Sakyamuni Buddha saw the eastern star at dawn is actually seeing his own light. That's the light emitted by his heart. So from then on, everything that he said, that's the ultimate truth, and that's all Buddha Dharma. So it's not seeing a real star in the sky, then that's enlightenment. Then you just get out at the night, in the middle of the night, and near dawn, you saw a star of the northern star, and you thought you're enlightened. And recently, you cannot even see the stars in the sky because it has been raining. Then you're not enlightened. Actually, what you see is the light emitted by your own heart. When you truly comprehend the true reality of the universe, then you are considered enlightened. There's a great a lady selling sandals at the door. And I asked her, how much are the sandals, a pair of sandals? 20. And I asked, how about 10? And she replied, sure. Do you want the left or the right one? Sure. $10. Sure. But do you want the left or the right side? So still $20 a pair. So what I meant, if you're enlightened today, then you bought all of them, not just left or right. You've bought all of them. And you have comprehended the ultimate truth of the Buddha. So things of the world, things that you cannot think through in the world, you can think through. There are a lot of things you don't understand. You don't understand marriage. What is it actually? You don't understand. But you can comprehend that it is just a karmic condition. It's just your affinity. You have affinity to get married. You have affinity with that person, and the two have met. I cannot just say between a man and a woman because we also have same-sex marriage. So not just between a man and a woman, but also between man and between women. They can get married. Someone asked me, will you perform wedding blessing for the homosexuals? Sure, why not? Because they have the same Buddha nature. There's no difference between a man and a woman. These days, the presidents are women. Many presidents are women. Who knows? Maybe the future president of the United States would also be a woman. It's not definite, but it's possible. It's okay. But in Catholicism, it's not allowed because in the old book of the Bibles, it said that God created two people. One is a man, and then he took one of his ribs and blew a breath, a rib bone, and then blew a breath on it, and it became a woman. Adam and Eve, and they got married. That's what marriage is about. Still one, because the woman is from a part of the man, which is from one rib cage, just a piece of bone. God created a man called Adam and a woman called Eve. That's what marriage is about. But Catholicism, in the view that it is about a man and a woman, hey, be clear that the woman also comes from the man. So it's okay if a man gets married with another man, because inside his body there is also a woman. So why Catholicism cannot see through this? It's okay too for a woman gets married to another woman. So the rib cage is, the rib bone is married to another rib bone. And then they're man, and they came from the man. So the woman is a man and the man is a woman. There's no difference. So in Buddhism, it's okay for the same-sex marriage to be blessed in Buddhism. But Catholicism didn't think this way. So the rib bone from the man, isn't that man? And transformed to become a woman. So a marriage between women is the same as marriage between men, because they came from man. So think about this logic. Then you gain enlightenment. Everything is allowed. A lot of things like that. A madman spoke to a madwoman, and the man said, "I'd like to tell you something." The woman asked, "What is it?" And the madman spoke softly, "Keep it a secret. I am the son of a bodhisattva." And the madwoman thought about it. When did I ever give birth to you? Actually, every one of us is mentally ill. Let me tell you, every one of us is mentally ill. Is there any of us that doesn't have any shortcoming? Is there a person that doesn't have any biases? That they are completely normal? That they have no faults? No one. So because you have these faults, you're born in the human world. If you have no faults whatsoever, then you would be Buddhas. And because you have faults, then you would be born into the human world. So in our heart or our mind, there's some abnormalities or biases. If it is still within acceptable range, then you're considered normal. But if you go over, then you would be considered mentally ill. There are some mad people who kill. When they go into rage, they would kill anyone that may not be related to them, so that they are considered mentally ill, or mentally ill, or psychologically ill. So if you can control yourself, then you're considered normal. If you cannot control yourself, then you're considered mentally ill or mentally disturbed. Hallucinations, going overboard, or you seem to hear things, that's considered mentally ill. Today, if you want to attain Buddhahood, you need to understand the ultimate truth of the universe. And you need to be able to control yourself, and the mental is completely wholesome, and then you can understand the outer phenomena of the world. then that is called attainment or siddhi, and you would be called siddha, the one who has attainment. If you don't comprehend, then you would be envious, you would be jealous, you would be angry, you would be greedy, and you would hate and do bad things, evil things, and you would be foolish and ignorant. You don't understand anything, just like a fool. So, living in the world, you need to understand the ultimate truth by enhancing, developing your own wisdom. I often say that you need to enhance or develop your wisdom. Grandmaster has said that I never forsake any single sentient being, because I often say that true Buddhist school is the place who would accept all mentally handicapped people. It's the shelter for all those. Because is there anyone without any mental shortcomings? Although some people are already close to wholesomeness or perfection, but they still have some imperfections. Say in Taiwan, I don't need to put on lotion on my body, but in America I do. And in Taiwan, I don't have allergy, but in America I would have allergy. So it's different between these two places. So any place has its own characteristic, and the same thing with every individual. Like the Japanese or Americans, they have their own special characteristics. Koreans, Taiwanese, they all have their own characteristics. Or mainland Chinese, they have their own unique characteristics, and they are different between countries or between different races. They have different habits and characteristics. However, the Buddha natures are completely the same. Like the trees, there are many kinds of trees. However, each tree is different. It looks different. The roots, the trunk, the leaves, the branches, the flowers, the fruits are all different. However, they're all trees. Sentient beings were originally Buddhas, but because of different places, different habitual tendencies, and all kinds of differences, they're all different kinds of people. And they are different. Actually, they are the same. That's why I made this vow never to forsake any single sentient being. Even like the mad people, it's very difficult to help them, but we still let them take refuge. And we hope that we could cure their mental illnesses or mental ailments. A couple was fighting, and the husband ignored the wife, laid in bed sulking, and the wife couldn't stand it anymore and asked, "What are you doing?" And the husband said, "I'm dead." And the wife asked, "How come your eyes are open when you die?" because I die without and but why do you still? Because I still have some regrets or references. But why are you still breathing? Because I couldn't swallow the upset. I couldn't talk about my marriage with Simu before marriage and after marriage. And I know that Simu is very capable. And her English is much better than my English. If someone have spoken to Simu in English and then spoke to me in English, then they would find out that your English is not better than Simu. So she's very serious in her work, and she's very detail-oriented, and her judgments are better than mine. And she has lots of strengths and almost no shortcomings. And all the shortcomings are mine. Even when she spoke the wrong thing, and then I said, you said the wrong thing. And then she said, no, you heard it wrong. And I just admit it because she is smarter than I am. But the truth is, I gain a spiritual union with Golden Mother. And Golden Mother too can do a lot of things. And I can also help her. So the two of us get along with each other really well. We understand each other. When you understand each other, then you can be patient of each other. Then you can stay together for a long time. If you don't understand each other and you don't endure each other, then it's impossible. Like Grandmaster understands about sentient beings. I understand. So that's why we cannot defame or slander sentient beings. I just want to correct them. So if they have a strong habitual tendencies in a certain area, I would like to correct them. So the work that spiritual cultivators do is to correct. So things that have gone in offside or wrong, then it needs to be corrected or rectified to be normal. So when you're abnormal, that means you've gone the wrong way. Then you just rectify that and correct that. So the work of the Guru is to correct them. And sometimes it cannot be done quickly. So sometimes it's very slowly, and I have to use all different kinds of methods or means to do that. And you cannot make them angry, because once you anger them, they would leave, and then it would be impossible to save them. So the attainment of the great perfection Dharma is that one and true Dharma realm, just one Dharma realm. Even when it is unrevealed, it is bright. So one and true Dharma realm, that's very real. We are actually inside the one and true Dharma realm. And just because of our own habitual tendencies, we get into the rebirth realms, reincarnation. Simply said, what is the 6 rebirth realms? So, or the reincarnations. So the 6 rebirth realms are just one realm, and the 6 rebirth realms also nirvana. So the 10 Dharma realms are actually just one Dharma realm, and only the enlightened ones would know this. At lunch, I said, Master Lianzi asked, Grandmaster, talking about infidelity or adulteration. And talking about indulgences or excessiveness or obscenity, that would be whatever you do, whether it's the proper or improper one, then that's the realm of the animals. So whatever you do, then at that time, what you do at that time would be animals. So if you're a legal couple and you're together at night, when you are together, your hearts and minds are the hearts of the animals, and there would be the sign or the marks of the animals, and you would be reborn into the animal realm. If you have a thought, I want to rob this person's money, then you have a thought of greed. Then at this time, your heart is already in hell. All of a sudden, if you thought that, oh, I hate this person, I want to kill him, the heart at that time is evil, and you will definitely be reborn into the 3 lower realms. And the worst one is hell, and you're already in hell. And if you like to take advantage of other people and you're selfish, then your heart is already in the hungry ghost realm. You're always discontent, then you are in the realm of the hungry ghost. The animal realm, the hell, hungry ghost realm. If you're always envious of other people's attainments, although you're cultivating spiritually, then your heart is already in the Asura realm. And all of a sudden, you generate a heart to donate money to help. And if you want to help someone, then your heart is already in heavens, and that's the heavenly realm. That's the 6 realms: the heaven, the human realm, Asura, hell, hungry ghost, and animal. Why are you born in the human realm? Because the good deeds and the bad deeds that you have done are about balance. Then you would be born in the human realm. Those are the 6 rebirth realms or the reincarnations. How do you go back to your origin? To become a sage, a holy person, a bodhisattva, to return to your origin. You need to first cleanse all these realms, to purify all the karma that you created. Only after the karma is completely extinguished, you would be able to go to the Buddha lands and attain bodhisattvahood or Buddhahood. So the 6 rebirth realms are very simple. So actually it's plus, minus, multiply, division, and the root, square root, or whatever. So Grandmaster, what are you talking about? So you accumulate all the karma that you have created, and then weigh them. And then at the end, which one is the heaviest, then you would go to that realm. What you have in your mind is obscenity and pleasures and indulgences, sexual indulgences, then you would be reborn in the animal realms. If you rape, then you would go to hell. Actually, between people, they mistreat each other, they trick each other. And as Buddhists, we need to be patient and endure those. That's most importantly. You need to endure and be patient. It's okay to be mistreated. Jesus also said, if you take my overcoat, then you would also give the shirts. And Jesus also said, if they slap my left cheek, I would give you the right cheek. So Jesus is very patient. So he said that if someone slapped his left cheek, he would give the right cheek. That's the endurance or patience. Who can do that? It is written clearly in the sutras, but you cannot do it. That's why people don't get along with each other, because they have not gained enlightenment. So, if you get along with everybody, that means his or her heart is as expansive as the sky, like the Adi Buddha, like Vajradhara, like the blue sky, that embrace everything. He embraces everything. So if you truly have gained enlightenment, that's attainment. And the reason is because your heart is boundless, expansive, and embrace everything. There is a cause and effect in here. If your mind or your heart is getting narrower and narrower as you cultivate spiritually, then you would fall into the 6 rebirth realms. But if it gets wider and more expansive, like enlightenment, then you would be a holy person. So in the one true Dharma realm, the rebirths are also the same as nirvana, because there's only one true Dharma realm. A professor was doing a survey and asked an old farmer and his wife, what is the difference between love? Love and what? The farmer replied, it's very simple. If you sleep with her today and then you still want to sleep with her tomorrow, that's called romantic love. But if you sleep with her today and tomorrow you have to sleep with her, then that would be a marriage. So the professor, when hearing that, was very painful, and then spoke to himself in front of the farmer. That is a wonderful concept. This is something, a topic that he has researched for a long time, and he still didn't find out, but the farmer did. If you sleep with her today and you still want to sleep with her, then that's love. But if you sleep with her today and tomorrow, oh, I have to sleep with her tomorrow, and ooh, that's such a suffering, then that is marriage. So the farmer's reply is of essence. So actually, Grandmaster's Dharma teaching too is also very essential. That afflictions is puti, and affliction is enlightenment. Maybe you don't understand. Affliction is affliction and enlightenment is enlightenment. Or puti is puti. Why? Is it the same? Are they the same? And nirvana is rebirth. See, you cannot think of that, right? But I had explained it earlier, that in the one true Dharma realm, affliction is puti, and in one and the true Dharma realm, the incarnation is also nirvana. And one more thing, simply, that the conveniences are also the ultimate. So in Vajrayana, we talk about sexual indulgences. And in Mahayana, that's all about the Dharma, about the animal realm. But in Vajrayana, if you are a true Siddha, they would transcend this sexual indulgences, because you're not obsessed or striving for the bliss of the orgasm. So man and woman have orgasm, but you don't strive for them. You're not obsessed. So that's different. In that case, you would not fall into the animal realm. So you're not seeking that, but what are you doing? Is because the qi and the qi is interacting, is so that the central channels and all the channels in the body can be open and flowing smoothly. So what else are you doing? You're doing that so that the inner fire can be ignited, and the qi are interacting, and the inner fire ignited, and then what else do you do? And you hope that bright light would be emitted by your bodies. So when you do that, in Vajrayana, it's not to seek the bliss of that sex, but to circulate and to move the qi and to ignite the inner fire and to open all the channels, and then to have the body emit light. So in Tantrayana, we need to abandon the sexual indulgences using these methods. So the Dharma in Vajrayana is definitely different from other Dharma. I didn't say clearly, because everybody is doing this dual body Dharma practice. Some people reprimand it. Sure, some are done wrongly. Like there are lots of motels in Taiwan, and the problematic ones would do it at the motels. Otherwise, the normal ones would do it at home. So those at the motels, what do? Is to let the woman and the man to have orgasm, and then they would be happy and content. But it is different in Vajrayana. So you all are doing the dual body Dharma practice, whether you're married or not. So the dual body in Vajrayana is to circulate the qi smoothly, to ignite the inner fire, to open all the all the channels and to emit the light, not to seek or to convert the bliss, the pleasure. So Grandmaster told everyone, Grandmaster does not seek that kind of bliss. Long ago, Grandmaster has been non-leaking. Simu can prove, and she has proved, she has witnessed many, many times. There's no need to do more. I don't seek the bliss of orgasm. I just want to circulate my chi, to ignite my inner fire, to let all the 70,000 channels in the body open and flow smoothly, and to let the light be illuminated. What is there to reprimand? If you scold this, then you would scold your grandpa and grandma, you scold your father and mother, and you scold yourself, and you scold your children. Everybody's doing it. So you're just scolding yourself. So grandpa, grandma, and your dad, your mom, yourself, your children, or your grandchildren, if they've grown up. So why do you rebuke that? If you rebuke that, you rebuke everybody. You rebuke all the sentient beings in the 60 birth realms. So what is there to rebuke? Everybody's the same. There are 3 late students that was called by the professor. Why are you late? Is that the train was late, and B said the bus was late, and C said the motorcycle was late. How could the motorcycle late? What is the number that you hate most? And Xiaoming said 3. Why? Because mom always said, when I count to 3, you're dead. In Taiwan, there is this scalp tickets, and I don't know, in America they have that. And he was trying to sell tickets, outside the ticket office. And how many tickets do you want to get? Oh, but I'm a cop. Oh, you're a cop? Then, okay. Oh, how much is the ticket? And he said 500. But I'm a cop. And then he said, well, for the cop, it's only 450. One day, the minister gave a sermon. Children, can you tell me what should we do when we pray to God for repentance? And one of the kids said, of course, you have to commit the crime first. You have to commit the sin in order to repent the sin. If you don't commit the sin, what is there to repent? But in Christianity and in Catholicism, we talk about the the original sins in Buddhism too, and that's karma from previous lives. That's the original sins. In a hotel, there was a female guest that just got dressed, and then the hotel employee sent a breakfast in, and she got angry. Why didn't you knock on the door? What if I'm in the middle of changing? And the waitress said, Miss, don't be scared. Prior to entering the room, I already checked in the keyhole. That's also wrong. In the prison, ask A.B., how did you get in? And B replied, I saw a rope on the ground and picked it up. What? You just pick up a rope and you got in prison? And B said, because the other end of the rope is a cow. So everything has a reason. Let me tell you, a lot of things are due to the cause and effect. If you have no more causes, then you have the attainment, you have CD. And if your causes are good, you also have attainment, CD. But if your causes are bad or evil, then you would be in the rebirth realms. But if your causes are good, then you would be a Siddha. If you have no causes whatsoever, then you are the sky. So in order to extinguish your own karma, please do not create causes. And then your karma would diminish gradually until it's gone. So if your motives, your agenda is good, then that's fine. But if your motive or your agenda is bad, then that's not good. Those 6 rebirth realms are like that. Cause and effect are unimaginable because it's very complex, very intricate. So if there's no causes, there would be no more effects. Then you would be like the sky. If you can comprehend this, and if you see through all phenomena of the world, then you would have attainment. You would be enlightened and attain Buddhahood and of the Adi-Buddha. We are truly grateful to Grandmaster's precious Dharma teaching.